Train to to mother. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning. Good morning. We got some good news. My Robinhood's down. I'm rooting for Robinhood to go down. Just in the short term. Some numbers came out this morning. Apparently the market don't like you. Probably, I don't know, what was it, PCI, CPI? Oh, I'm running a little late. My polar water's still not on sale, driving me nuts. Driving me nuts. Working on a PowerShell. AI is freaking getting like we're not even anywhere near or how good AI is going to get, which is scary. But I was working on this, and I've mentioned it recently. I'm working on this method to deploy Bitwarden, which you can do all that through Microsoft Intune and through Microsoft. So Intune's kind of a management. You can do a lot of things with it. People connected to that your domain, like whatever.com or whatever. PCs are connected to that, and you can manage those PCs, manage like when they get patched, when they update, password policies, all kinds of policies, right? That restrict you from doing things or whatever. And there's Edge and you can do Chrome. So it deploys Bitwarden, puts a Bitwarden extension, pinned a shortcut on your browser. And I used AI to help me with all that. But at the end of the day, if you already so part of their policy was you can't have saved passwords in your browser because that's a security risk. So with Intune, you can disable that. But if they already had passwords saved, it didn't remove them. So you had to script removing them. So, I'm sure there's plenty of ways to skin that cat. And I actually explored a few ways and came to the conclusion to use Intune with PowerShell. PowerShell is a language that you can make scripts with. And it like I wouldn't be able to like in the old days, the way you would do this is you would go find someone else that did it that was a guru at scripting, figured out how to do it and copy their code. But PowerShell gets updated and certain things that used to work before no longer work, or you need this or you need that, and blah blah blah. So it's a major pain in the ass. You try to get these scripts to work, it'd give you like it would run and give you error codes, and you'd have to Google those error codes and then, either try and fix the code yourself or go find someone else. With Grok, I'm like, this is what I need to do. And it goes, here's your script. So I test the script and it worked. So I deployed it. But then I'm like, I wanted to do a few different things. I wanted to only do it at a certain time and restart the browser and reopen your tabs and just iterating and improving the script for a better user experience. And so it gave me an updated script, and then the updated script I just deployed it, didn't work. So then I tested it locally and it would give me error messages, and I was like, ugh. But the error messages are like super cryptic too, right? But I would just copy and paste the error in the Grok and be, oh, I can fix that. And it would fix that and give me a new script. And I deployed that and it would be a different error. Again, this would be common if you're trying to do it manually, and unless you're a scripting guru. And if you are a scripting guru, you're probably using AI now. But, oh, okay, when we fix that problem, we got this problem. I'm going to add better error handling, blah, blah. And it gives me a new script. I tested it and it worked great. So something I did spend about, I don't know, 6 to 7 hours to do this. And it now works. The old way of doing it, unless I would have gotten something that worked, I probably would have just abandoned it and maybe tried to figure some swap meet Louis way. But that's just one of the small ways that AI is just already great. Like, dude, I complain about paying having to pay $40 for Premium Plus, but I'm it makes me a 10 times. This there used to be a cool term back in the day, 10x engineer, 10x this, 10x that. I don't really hear people saying that anymore. But Grok and AI, Valella's in the house. How you doing, bro? Grok definitely 10x, if not 20x. How good I am. Now it's not all glory and wins. There are times where AI takes you down, and you continue to talk to AI to get you to the conclusion. And I mentioned this yesterday too. And sometimes you just got to sprinkle in a little Google with it. It's an art form, that's for sure. A microphone check, check. But that's just one example of how I use it in my life. There are definitely other ways. I lost my. I guess it doesn't save after that change I made. Okay, good morning. But I use it for a lot of other. Oh, for just about everything that I would. I ask it like I'm watching Barry. We're in some good morning, just a little bit of pre stock market ramble time. I'll ask it like I'm watching Barry, and I don't. It's a it's a different time where it's hard to just stay focused on the show you're watching, like without getting distracted, without checking Twitter or without checking the price of Bitcoin and missing a couple minutes, and then something might be happening, and I'm like, oh, why is why is such and such in this show? So I'll go like, hey Grok, um, did NoHo Hank die? Right? I'll just ask it that, and it'll go like, oh, I assume you're talking about the show Barry. You can ask it questions like, in season 3, episode this, why did such and such, and it'll bring you up to speed. Sometimes, I've seen it where, like, I did that with some stuff happening on Justified, and it gave me completely the wrong answer. So there's that, right? The completely, like, it just made up shit that was that wasn't even really what happened, and I would question it. Oh, I apologize. But it kept coming to the same conclusion. So it's not perfect. You can use it for shopping or computers and things like that. I mean, anything. I need this. What's the best supplement for that? Ask it health questions, right? Again, it's a bit of an art form. And I don't know, is it going to be one of those things where like they're just getting that IV, and then whatever, is it going to be, is it also a future way of just master manipulating us, right? Once you get addicted to an AI, it'll subtly, micro subtle hints and psyops to be like, oh yeah, I'm now. I like the way the Republicans think, and oh, I like this brand, right? Or is Nike Nike gonna? There's an episode of Black Mirror that I watched. You know what? Crypto on the stock market. The episode of Black Mirror I recently watched with Rashida Jones, and my goodness, I'm a big fan of Rashida Jones. But she has some kind of like, I don't know, brain shit happens to her, but they hook her up. They basically put her, uh, what's that shit called? Your, your Gosh darn it, dude. I'm brain farting hard. They put your soul, they put her soul and mind and all that into the cloud. But so it was crazy. They put her soul and mind into the cloud, but she had to stay within the network. And they sold her this plan, like you're on this plan, and they told them that they're expanding the network, but she basically like had to be connected in order to stay alive. And then like she would sleep more because of the processing power in this. And then they did upgrade the network, but they kept forcing them into more expensive plans, right? To improve her quality of life. And they rolled out this ad program. So she'd just be like talking to like one of her kids as a teacher, and the kid would be like, you know, telling the teacher, telling her his problem. And she's like, "Have you accepted our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in your life?" And it was an ad, right? And the ads were kind of targeted towards what's that, and the ads started getting worse, and it got her in trouble with her job. And yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty cool episode. The ironic thing is they're making fun of like subscription plans, or is it prescription? They're making fun of like Netflix's prescription plan, and Netflix is the one showing the show. Anyway, I digress. Ding ding, and let's get into the stock market. I see some red. I see blue. I see red. A microphone. Can't wait to see how my calls are doing. Volatility's up though, so I'm going to be fighting that. Volatility goes up, the premium goes up, so I might not even barely be up. I know those are some big terms, some big words, some advanced 101 trading. Your boy Meet Kevin's not going to know. I don't know where. I was cracking myself up this morning. Jason put a Meet Kevin emoji up right there. And I subtly deleted it. I was curious if he'll notice. I don't know if he's here to even hear that I did that, but I was laughing, abusing my powers. How dare you put a Meet Kevin emoji in my Discord? Although, also shout out to Fifi Baggins. He boosted my server. One nitro boost is basically a waste. So, anyway, that's what Grok told me. I don't really. If a bunch of people boost your server, you get like some emojis. And I don't know. It's a PsyOps way of getting people to spend money on Discord. What are you doing, Jason, that you're so flush with Discord boosts? You like Discord? Do you get a bunch of Discord boosts on different Discords, or I don't fully understand it, to be honest. Too what are these young kids called these days? Zillennials, Zoomers, too Zoomer. Wonder if Diana's still around. He was upset with me yesterday about something I said about Trump. I mean, I don't know what I said bad about Trump that elicited that kind of response. All right. Head down $2.50. And my calls. Ooh. We have made 300. That actually came in better than expected so far. So we made $375 in climbing on this. That is exciting. And we're now down $535 in the last 30 days on our option plays over there, which is pretty better than what we were doing before. I would love to get near positive. I don't have to do it all here. You know, we can scratch and claw, scratch and crawl, scratch, scratch and crawl. All right. I'm not as funny. You're not as funny as you think you are, Tom. Holy shnikes. The Nasdaq's down 440. E-mini S&P's down 101. Something was like here's the grok conversation I'm having. I can't even load this on my phone anymore because it just causes Twitter to crash. A very long. But like here's the error message. It's very like whatever, and I just copied in. This error occurs in the script. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, very cool stuff. Got another situation coming up where we could potentially be migrating some Cisco ASA firewalls to Palo Alto. Palo Alto used to have a tool where you could do that, but now if it were something you were to do a lot, you can do it with like Python and stuff. So the question would be, do you try and figure out all the Python scripting? I would imagine even with AI, you're going to burn 2 or 3 days getting that done. So it's probably not worth it unless it's something that you think you're going to have to do a lot. And we don't migrate a lot of ASAs to Palo Alto. This is Biden's stock market, says Trump. Trump tariffs will soon be kicking in and our country will boom. He keeps saying that. This has nothing to do with tariffs. Blame the other guy. Not a fan. Don't get mad at me, Diane. I'm not a fan. I'm just blaming. Just just throwing blame at whoever. I don't know who. I don't know. It's everyone's at fault. We're at fault. Don't get me started on that again. Let's go back to COVID when we demanded that they just turn on the money printer and pay us. Biden didn't. I mean, Trump was part of that too. Trump is the one that started. Again, I'm just, I'm not blaming Trump, but Trump is part of the money printing. Started with him. I don't expect presidents to be perfect. Anywho, dollar up 21 cents. Oh no, the dollar's going back up. Volatility up 250. Yikes. SPX WM2. Still hanging in there. Still hanging in there. I think gold's down big today. It's not down that much. They were acting like it was crashing this morning on Tasty Trade. Kind of hanging around the 3,300, 3,312. What are bonds doing? Bonds down 4 ticks. Bonds go down, rates go up. They're at 116.30. They're near 117. So I don't know how this adjusts, but they were like lower yesterday. Pretty sure. Charting over on Tasty Trade kind of sucks. Let's see if we can pull this up on Trading View and get a better. All right, so this shows it is up. It was higher at one point yesterday, I guess on the close, so that's why. But bonds are going up. That means rates go down. Let's see if we can see that happening real time. Yep, rates are going down. There's the 10-year. There's the 30-year. They should have maybe locked it in down here at 3.8% on April 7th. It wasn't too long ago. I think we could flush him down. Flushing him down more would be bad for the stock market. More than generally. All right, we did a covered call on HUD yesterday in the small account. I'm going to put in a GTC order to buy that back and get a 50% winner chicken dinner. We need about 34 cents to make that happen. Ethereum down $60. Womp womp. Coinbase down $8.50. Should have sold some covered calls there. And Robinhood seems like it's flattening here at these bottoms. We got the E-mini SP now down 114. NASDAQ down 475. I think we're going to reverse this. MicroStrategy down 15. Accept. This new Jack Mahler, or I don't know who's all involved. This big new MicroStrategy 2.0, hanging around $31. Tesla down 20. Palantir down 4, but still at a pretty good price, 112. And at 46.91. Blah. Blah. Microsoft 387. They have earnings today. This is a tricky day for earnings. The earnings could be bad, but the market could already be down so much it might not matter. Or they could get destroyed, and the earnings could be bad and they could just get destroyed. Video 105. CoreWeave around 40. Apple down $3. Amazon down 7. Amazon's backed off on the Trump threats. They said they're not going to show the tariff pricing. We don't want to be hostile. I don't know why it's such. I would prefer to see the tariff pricing just for consumer information and to know that, maybe the country of origin. And I'll be like, maybe I'll look for an American alternative. Again, the Trump administration could have maybe spun that better. Meta down 23. Costco down. Yeah, we're just down, boys. AMD down 346. Speaking of AMD, let's check Costco. I know they're not going to have it. Just disappointment day after day on my polar waters. And I can't even get the black cherry polar water now. That shit's like $13. 15 pack? What? It's getting too expensive, bro. Freaking $40 for Twitter. And I'm screwed. Out of stock. Get Doom. They added that. I think Doom was part of that description before. It might have been. Can we get some new PCs in, bro? Jason in the house. I was talking about you earlier. I was curious to know if you noticed that I deleted your Meet Kevin. Get that Meet Kevin emoji out of here. I was cracking up at like 5 in the morning. Oh my goodness. There's an issue with someone's server and the switch is boot crapping out and their servers. Oh my goodness, bro. That's going to be a major pain in the ass to deal with. All right, let's get to the crap, the meat schmeckle. Some bad, I'm going to name this chapter some bad alpha. First, very important to understand, our GDP formula subtracts imports from its calculus. What? Is that even a proper from its calculus? Is that a proper phrasing there? So when we hoard overstock up, nationally we surge imports, weights negative, net rip. Jesus Christ. So my apologies for dropping the JC, but that sentence is, I need a bottle of Adderall for that sentence. Unfortunately, together with higher prices, fewer jobs, and lower GDP than estimated, this is a larger negative hit faster. Okay, so the numbers were like GDP. I didn't even really. Bitcoin below 93. Womp womp. There's that next leg down Kurt wanted. God damn it. I do a JC, then I followed up with a GD. My apologies. Personal spending is up. Personal income is up. PCE, core PC price index is down. That should be good. Oh no, it's up. Actual's not in. GDP growth rate is bad. Tom Alpha report, GDP growth rate came in way off. People are hitting the brakes. This is a larger negative hit faster. Yep, that's right. Worse hit faster than expected. Most anticipated a benign read of data today with ADP well over. ADP actually comes in at 62, well below consumption, blah. Most, including myself, thought Q1 would still have benign data and true job weakness. So he's saying everyone thought the reports would be in line because the numbers haven't caught up. Looks like it's showing up earlier, which unfortunately means the future could even be worse. And then we got the India getting ready to attack Pakistan. That could cause some. Pakistan, like yesterday, said they think India is going to attack within the next 24 to 36 hours. I don't know. I think there was some like Indian civilian deaths. And India is blaming Pakistan. I'm not fully up on it. It barely even makes the headlines, which is crazy. The 210 spread now 0.54. I'm assuming he's talking about the 2-year, 10-year. Put a little bit of like detail in this. Like, there's this comment that I barely understand. Explain it. He probably doesn't understand either. Whoever told him that just said, put this in there. It'll make you look smart. Hymns, like mentioned yesterday, and it did, keeps leaking. Bitcoin omen today, unideal if it's leading. What does that mean? Bitcoin omen today, unideal if it's leading. Someone explain that to me. Any QQQ weakness at open could quickly lead to a rush to 460.58. Okay, Bitcoin's moving back up. That's the stock. I wonder if the stock market, Bitcoin dominance is actually going up, which is good. Got close to 65. What was I going to look at? Oh, QQQ. QQQ, the cubes. 460.58. There is nothing on this chart that says 460.58 is anything. Why is this a number that he... The Meet Kevin number line. Mike's in the house. Is it Friday? There is a pullback. It looks like resistance once. So is this what he's basing it on? Really the only thing that makes sense. A little bit right there where it was resistance. And then, so I see this number is like a micro. Could be, yeah. So this is a decent valid number. But I mean, just because it happened here, I guess, I don't know, bro. I don't really pay a lot of, like, there would have been one here. There is a lot of, I mean, bro, you had a chart. You're gonna see a lot of things on the chart that look like it means something. Doesn't necessarily. I'm more of a, where's the 20? Where's the 50? Where's the 200? 20s and the 50 are inverted, which is bad. They're lagging indicators, but it did come down and bounce off the 20. Now, what a lot of TA people will do is say, okay, we went back up, we found resistance at the 50, and we're coming back down. Are we going to retest the 20? If we retest the 20 and lose the 20, then, oh, look out. We're going down to like 407, which would be ugly. Now, he might have, there could be, we do come to this and then go back up, possibly. You see, it did fight with it a lot, but it went well below. And like this time, even here, bro, this was resistance before it went to new all time highs. But it lost that by a lot every time. And it was touching down on the bull market support band, which are the 20 and 21 on the weekly. And it actually came all the way down to the 200. So this would just be a short term thing, I guess. But you don't get any, like, you didn't get any real relief. It flashed through this pretty hard. So even if we were to see like a whole, like this be support resistance, we're talking like a minor speed bump. I watch Palantir for a bigger drop. SMCI's weakness and customer order delays. I wonder if he's still in that one. That said, after hitting 460.58, we could see a glorious bounce. If we get that low, that's not that far away, bro. Trump speaks twice today and he's already talking up the patience. I mean, I mean, you got to have patience. It's really the only thing you can do in a market like this. I don't know that the markets would have been, how much they would have been different if Camel Toe was in office. It might have stayed propped up a little bit longer, but eventually the house of cards would have fallen. Versus, it is from an administrative standpoint, it is smart for them to get this out of the way now. From a politically posturing, and they got tricks up their sleeve, right? So they're playing a gambit with the strong hand. The United States has the strong hand. They're playing a tariff gambit. You're going to have talking heads that are going to say that it ain't working and this and that. And I don't know. You're going to have talking heads that say it's going to work and this is why and it's great. And it's a bit of a shell game. Some companies might move around and there'll be hits and it might move jobs back. And at the end of the day, is it going to be the best? Who the hell knows, dude? Who the hell knows? That being said, I am supportive of at least trying something different. Schmecky knows. At least try, Ricky in the house. At least trying something different, because what we were currently been doing hasn't been working all that great. I mean, the stock market's going up, but the economy keeps going to shit. I don't know who's to blame for that. I don't know. You could blame Biden, but then the Democrats go, no, this started before Biden. This was Trump. And then the Trump, no, we were handed a bag of shit from the Obama administration. And the Obama administration said, we were handed a dirty bag of crap from Bush and the great financial crisis. And Bush can be like, well, we came in the dot-com bubble and that was handed to us from, everyone, both sides are to blame. Our greedy nature is to blame. Eventually, it could all collapse. There's a lot of things riding on our dominance, to be quite honest with you, and that's going to be an AI race. AI race is going to be massive. We got to dominate in the AI race. We got to dominate in the quantum computing race. We got to dominate in robotics. Robotics will be a big deal. Tim Cook says he wants to bring factories back to the United States, but he doesn't want to do it until he can get a bunch of robot arms. And then the robot arms can handle, the assembly of all the iPhones and shit with precision. And then the labor force obviously won't be as big, but it's going to be a highly specialized labor force that can work on robots and maintenance. And, the janitor is going to be a high profile job of the future. And by janitor, I mean being able to fix robots. So if you're a kid, probably wouldn't go to college anymore. The ship on college is selling, and that's a big waste of money. Get really good at AI. Learn how to use AI. Take classes on machine, get 10x it. I want to take some classes on machine learning and entry level AI coding, and just to understand it better, right? Just to be, just to really get in, just really dig in and really know it. But learn how to use AI. There was back in the 90s when I was in college, learning how to use Microsoft Word and Lotus 123. Those were computer classes you would take to make you a lot better, a lot more marketable as someone to be employed. Now, not only do you need to know like Word at a high level, I mean, Microsoft Office, Outlook, and Word, and Teams, and all that to make you a lot more marketable and be, now you want to learn AI and how to manipulate AI. Just even if it's just writing scopes of work and, you know, um, orders and business memorandums. Learn to code is dead. Learn to code isn't dead, but it's definitely the cream. The cream will rise to the top, and there's not going to be a lot of room for cream. Learning how to use it's going to be a bit of like, because AI can run into the same problem. Like it could take existing bad code and iterate it and just be stuck with problems versus trying to fix it or completely rewriting it and it having to iterate. So it's not like AI can just magically spit out perfect code. Like I need it to do this. It can only do what you tell it to do, right? So you're like, here's my idea. I want this. It spits out some code. And you're like, oh, I want to add this. And it spits out some code. And it's buggy. And then you work through it. And then now you have this code. And you're like, oh, I want to do this. And then it spits out some code. And it causes problems with like version 1. And then you got to fight through that. And now you have bugs. And it's iterating. And it gets worse. And it gets to a point where like, wow, I'm having too many problems with this. Well, these are your options. We can write code to, catch this and ignore that and get bulky and get bloated, or we could just start all over. It's both. You still want to learn code. I would say at least get like basic. So that way, as you learn AI and you use AI to code or code for you, it's still going to take, I think for a while, you're going to need really, really good coders. I'm talking like Mag 7 type coders that are really good, the best of the best, to help come up with, because even again, it's someone coming up with the idea, and someone that's really good at coding can look at that and say, no, we need to attack, because the AI is just going to give you some code. And someone that's really good at coding can look at that and say, I don't like how we're doing this. Let's attack it with this angle and try this approach instead, type of thing. So that being said, if you are someone that wants to become a coder, it is going to be a lot more cutthroat. You're going to have to be a lot better at it. It wouldn't be something I would personally recommend. But anyway. It is 7:17 already. Are you kidding me? I maintain my recessionary conviction. Yeah, we're in agreement on that. I've been saying that for long enough that I think he's been watching my channel and stealing my alpha. All right, let's get into crypto, I guess. Bitcoin 93.3. How low did it get? 92.9 roughly. Kind of starting a new bull flag, I guess. I mean, this is a normal thing to happen. Pull back a little bit and then the next leg up. I cannot shake the feeling that I feel like crypto wants that next leg up. It's just, can we get that news we need, that catalyst we need for it to happen before, negative catalyst comes out. So if we could get some nice bullish catalyst, and we've also talked about like these dips are normal. How much of a dip did we get here? 30% normal, 72 days, a little over 2 months, and then it's returning. I think we saw 30% dip in 3 months to get back. This happened pretty quick. 30% dip in 21 days. Here's a big one though. This would be more like what we're looking at most likely. 30% dip and only a month to get back. %30 dip and 3 weeks. So 30% dip, a long 30% dip, and a long road back. As mentioned, Bitcoin dominance is looking good. We want this to get up to like 71% would be pretty sick. 70%, get this to peak, get this to go up, and then get it to go down. Get Bitcoin to continue to go up, but Bitcoin dominance start declining for that alt season. Is what I think. Is what I'm most thinking is going to happen with this whole. We're going to have a nice rally before it all spirals down the drain. This SPX M2 is playing out. I mean, there is a scenario where we just go in the shitter. Just because it's on the charts and happened before and it looks like it could happen again doesn't mean it's going to. There's no really like, oh, there's a certain percentage of chance when you have this and you have that, you have a falling wedge and there's a MACD and stochastics and you add all these up, there's a 12% chance of this. No, dude. It's constantly evolving. The number, you could throw a bunch of stuff in there and probably even have Grok, throw a bunch of shit at Grok. Like analyze that QQQ, apply Bollinger Bands and MACDs and how many times has this happened in the past and what percentage and what direction. There's going to be some numbers. You're going to be able to get a percentage. Like when you hear, oh, whatever, 30% of the time a falling wedge does this. Based on what analysis? Based on what someone wrote in a book in the 90s? Because he back tested Walmart on the daily for 5 years. And every time there was a falling wedge, this percent. What is it now? What is it for this? What is it for that time frame? What is it for this stock? What is it if you applied it to all stocks, all equities? Is that still? Oh, you've applied it to everything and back tested it as of today, and that's still the percentage? Okay. Coinbase back over 200. HUD. Market's rebounding. SPX down 90. I mean, not a lot. NASDAQ down 380. Just maybe a little dead cat. Down 600. I'm kind of tempted to just take it, bro. Take it and try and make it back later. I just don't know where are we gonna continue to go down? Or are we gonna have a rip your face off rally? You gotta leave it on. There's a lot of extrinsic value left. 5. There's about $300. Okay, there's $3. What did I pay for those? What did I get for those? It just shows me that. All right, so $1,500, $300 total. There's a lot of extrinsic value to get out of those suckers. 1,100, a little over 200 and some dollars per call in extrinsic value. And that's definitely enough if this one continues to win to make this entire trade positive. So don't be a little bitch. Keep it on. You got to be able to handle pain when you trade, whether your stock's going against you, your covered calls are going against you. This covered call is working out well, but the put's down. So overall, I put a covered strangle on. Kurt loves a good covered strangle. Overall, I'm down 12 bucks because I'm up 20 on the call, but I'm down 38 now. So I'm down $17. The microphone check. Bitcoin pushing 94, bro. Don't call it a comeback. Wow. How's everything else doing? ADA down to 67.68. Ethereum down to 17.60. Bitcoin dominance still rising. XRP 216. SWI 338. That's around my cost basis. Ondo 89 cents. There's your next leg down, Coit. It's bouncing off the 20. Celestia. Oh, breaking Cardano news. More good Cardano news, I guess. Good news. Good news. Cardano partners with Cosmos is what the title should have been. Cardano integrates with IBC. This also enables the Ethereum virtual machine, something that Crypto Angler won't shut up about. There you go. I know what this means, but I don't know what this means. Why is I don't know how IBC works with it. Where's Farnswoggle? I know some tokens, some IBC chains on Cosmos have an Ethereum address too. So I don't know how interconnect with Ethereum. Does Ethereum just have a full-on IBC? Like, how do you use this? Because IBC is not necessarily a bridge. You're going to natively put Cardano on Cosmos, technically, right? They enabled IBC, but does that mean Cosmos is on board with it and they're doing anything with it? One good thing about Cosmos, and there's not a lot of good things about Cosmos to say right now, is they do have native USDC. I don't know what the liquidity is like. And I don't think it's really integrated with any sexes. So, like, if you have USDC on Cardano, how do you get it to, like, Kraken? You know, you still got a problem there. Not like you can just cash out your USDC without jumping through some hoops. So I don't know what this means. This is just some vague shit. I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. Anyone? Bueller? I'm going to go to a popular DEX IBC network on Cosmos. See if we can see 8 over here. I mean, obviously it's not going to be here, but I don't even know what I don't even remember what I have on over here, to be honest. Oh, I got some Celestia. Go add chains in the sidebar menu. Select, so you can add Bitcoin. Bitcoin is live on Kepler. Add remove chain. Chronos? I already had a boom boom, but I got another boom boom. Terra Classic. Ugh. DYDX. Bunch of shit I never heard of. Passage. Barneswall gonna love some Passage. Is that thing still alive? Thor chain. Ujara crap. Unicorn crap. Bunch of testnet. So Binance. Ethereum. You can't actually add them though. Injective. Bitcoin. You can select Bitcoin chains in a later step. How do I get to the later step? Here we go. Base. Polygon. Nice. A lot of people are integrating with this dead chain. I don't know how you open your Ethereum app on your Ledger device. Wow, you really can just straight connect Ethereum to Kepler. All right, I'm not going to do that now. So if you can do that with Bitcoin soon, there's definitely some stuff to check out with that later, bro. You got to be a freaking MIT graduate to be able to understand how to do this shit. But hey, adoption. That's how you adopt people. You have to go to a college, 4 years of college and MIT doctorate to be able to do it. And then you still have at a high risk of having your shit stolen. We talked about that Bitcoin guy that someone lost like 330 million in Bitcoin. It was being reported this morning that that was an elderly person. They got social engineered. That would be dude, that just flat sucks, dude. Hopefully that dude's got billions of dollars and that's a first world problem. But losing 330 million in Bitcoin, like I wouldn't self-custody, I would not tell my parents to fucking self-custody Bitcoin. I'm scared to self-custody Bitcoin. The way these guys are constantly trying to find crack in your armor. Just you wake up stressed out over some shit, like having a rough day, a lot of things coming at you. And then bam, the guy gets you. For example, it's not that hard, right? Like Microsoft is sending out these emails that they're going to start enabling MFA on the tenants, right? And then so this was put in our Slack, like, hey, it looks like Microsoft's going to start soft enforcing multi-factor. So if you log in your Microsoft account, people won't be able, are going to have to set up MFA, and that can be a problem. I get an email the next day from our freaking, like, we have this system that checks, that tries to trick you, right? To keep you on your toes. And it's like, hey, Tom, at my email, scan this so that you know, this policy's happening and you need to get your MFA set up. So it wanted me to scan this QR code. And I'm just like, what the actual F? So anyway, I didn't do it. I followed some procedures. I asked if it was legit. I didn't think it was legit, but things can line up. And next thing you know, your Bitcoin's gone, is the long and short of that story. Coming from someone that did lose $50,000 last bull run, and getting just woke, I was caught sleeping. I downloaded the Terra Luna extension, went to Google, said, give me the Terra Luna wallet extension. I installed it. I entered my seed phrase, and it was a fake extension on Google. Google has no culpability. And that's another reason. That's the main reason why you should. That's a massive main reason why you want to have a hardware wallet. Because if it was a fake extension, they couldn't have stole my funds. You don't enter your seed phrase ever unless you're restoring your hardware wallet. That's the big disadvantage. One big disadvantage, not the only, with soft wallets. Like, you need to put that, you need to restore your wallet on like a new computer or a new browser, and you install the wrong extension and you enter a seed phrase, it's gone. It was gone within seconds, bro. Scripted, gone. And I had stuff staked. It unstaked it and immediately withdrew it the second it was unstaked a few weeks later. So, and I'm, you know, I got caught sleeping. I've been caught sleeping a couple times, and I know I'm skilled. I am someone that knows the things to avoid, and I get caught sleeping. And it keeps, and you can't be lazy. I keep improving my game, setting up Bitwarden, 2FA on everything, passkeys, right? Passkeys. Passkeys are great. YubiKeys. You should have 2FA or pass, and I'm not talking SMS. I'm talking authenticator app. I remove my email address as a way to recover. There's risks there, because but you know, I have backup codes and stuff. So you write your backup codes down, but that's one way they get you. If they have your email, they trick you into just recovering your password via your email. They get you to click on a link. Hey, you know, they get your phone and they send you the link, and it recovers. And then they reset the password on your email. I mean, and I don't know if they do that, if it still requires YubiKey. It probably would, but. So I have YubiKey tied to my Gmails. But then those are kind of a pain in the butt too. You got to manage them. You got to test them. Sometimes they don't always work with certain websites, or something that takes a decent amount of skill. So it's a lot of work to highly secure yourself. Even I wonder with like the whole like PGB key thing that Lace has, what ways there are to like tricks. You just have to trick the person into restoring your account with the PGP key and giving, like, doing a man in the middle attack and getting the key, you know? It's not perfect. Anyway, ramble time. I mean, not that I haven't already been rambling, but you guys aren't very chatty today, so maybe I'll just end the video. Bitcoin around 94. Had 47.50. Man, volatility's killing me on this. So as I need HUD to go down for my calls to come in, but the premium goes up because volatility goes up. But there could be a period of there being a volatility crush on an upswing. So boom, boom, boom. You're not handling very well. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way ho. Got a bunch of meetings today. 4 people in the house, 4 likes. Prescriptions are going down. Can't get prescriptions are going down. Views are going down. I can't even get the suckers to come in with the Cardano titles. I give you good news. Analytics. Let's see. UPS supposed to be laying off. Watch time's going down. Estimated revenue. I don't know how I'm getting any revenue. I don't turn ads on. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way ho. Jesus Christ. Florida nurse caught by husband having sex with her 15-year-old stepson. I mean, 15's kind of young. Is that what makes it? Is that what makes this story wrong? That it's he's 15, or it's because he's the stepson? We had 55K LA County workers in the streets. The Clippers lost yesterday. That's not good. One of the Lakers play tonight, maybe. What do they want to strike over? California's kind of effed. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say way ho. Boom, boom. Oh, maybe that. I need something to watch. I was low key contemplating rewatching like the Goldbergs. Yeah, Clippers got smoked. They have. You can bet on who's going to win the championship. You can't bet on individual games, I don't think, but on Robinhood, which is crazy, but you can bet like $10 to win $90 if you choose Golden State. Lakers play tonight. Lakers are You bet like $3 to win $100. Bunch of librarians. There's 55,000 librarians, or you're just being silly. The Fed's worst nightmare just got worse. I've been hearing doom and gloom titles from people on Twitter for years. And for in general, the stock market and crypto have just gone up. Actual 62K non-farm pay. What does that mean? Growth rate at 62,000, missing a potential economic slowdown. The number of jobs added. That means 62,000 jobs were added, but they expected 114. Does this just mean the analysts are dumb? Fewer jobs are being created than anticipated. Labor markets softening faster than expected. This is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I mean, since he took office, we're down. We're down 10% since he took office on the cubes. But it's still up 13% from the beginning of 2024. It's down since you took office, bro. It was up. I know I'm not talking shit about Trump. I'm just stating facts. It was up, and then you went on this tariff thing, and it's down. So is this Biden's stock market, or is this a tariff stock market and recession? So scared to badmouth Trump? Not really. I mean, what I'm saying, some Trump people would say I am badmouthing Trump. But a big factor on why we are down is because of tariffs. It's not the tariffs, it's because Biden, right, is what Trump's saying. I'm not saying, again, there's most of this is a fact of what happened with COVID. We printed a lot of money. Way back here. Nope, way back here. Here's the stock market before COVID. We were at 234, 235. We had a bad run with Trump. No, this was Biden. I wonder if Biden said this is Trump's stock market. I'm not a fan of blaming the previous administration. That's not how I would roll. Because obviously it's cumulative. It's both of them. It's all of us. It's the Fed. It's the money printing. It's our greedy lifestyle. And it would be all about, we have a plan. And I don't need to hear that billions are going to come and we're not going to have to pay taxes. Like, bro, just say that, yes, the economy's struggling. This is our plan to fix it. There's going to be some tough times. We're working. Stop gaslighting and smoke screening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I applaud us trying some different shit. And I hope the tariffs work out. I hope there's some negotiations. I hope jobs move back to the United States. I hope things like Apple moving stuff to India, like not being completely dependent on China, right? Like, but at the end of the day, we need to fix the problem. We need to really look. That's good. Bring manufacturing and growth back to the United States, and hopefully that plays out some. There's a lot of factors there, though. A lot. These tariffs show that we are tied to the hip with China. Yes, big time. Especially when it comes to rare earth metals. They dominate 93% of the refining process. And the United States government knew that going in. Former cigarette smokers, how did you quit? Imagine finding out you failed your college class. You shall not die. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Did she get fired? Oh, I did have some Bitcoin thing I wanted to look at. Bitcoin had a perfect support retest on the MVRV. That's the market value, realized value. And there's a gargantuan gap between here and the cycle top zone. Other cycles make it obvious that the cycle top part of the cycle is missing. How could I be anything but bullish here? Yeah, so the MVRV is like when it's below 1 or whatever, it's a great time to buy. I forget all of it. I used to have a place to go check this out, but I don't even know. Got a lot of bookmarks and shit. Here we go. I got some DFK bookmarks. MV, the Shikataki, Jake Paul. We don't need that. Bro, that's annoying. Trezor affiliate. Bitcoin. I have a Trezor affiliate. I don't know if that's something I needed to do and didn't do. Program sucks. Is there a chart here that doesn't? No, MVRV. Bitcoin MVRV. Yes, this is where I've looked at it before. Gotta pee. God damn it. This account does not exist. Well, what are you talking about, bro? All right. So I forgot how to read this. Thought there was a number. Oh, yeah, down here. So when it's below 1, it's historically a good time to buy. Right now, this is saying Bitcoin should be valued at 70. That's not good. And I think when it's above 2, you're supposed to sell, according to this one. So this one doesn't make me bullish. How can I be? So this is MVRV/Z. What's the difference? The Z score. The Z score has predicted Bitcoin market tops within 2 weeks. I'm worried about making 325 slippers. Feds cut a full point would be. That's not going to happen. You're on fucking crack. Way to go. This website made my computer spin up. All right, so we're just looking at the headline. I'm not clicking on allow ads or any of that shit. Fed rate watch tool. Did that say this year or just a full percentage point this year? That website literally makes my computer CPU spike. Reuters. All right, so for May, current 420. So for May, there's a 94% chance we stay unchanged and a 6% chance of a rate cut. June, this is 425 to 450. So they're saying by January we'll be at 325 to 350. There's a 31% chance of that being true right now. This says 41% chance by December, though. Make that make sense. So there's a 41% chance of that being a point cheaper by the end of the year. %60 chance of a rate cut in June. Another 60% chance of another rate cut in July. And another 54% chance of another rate cut in September. So rocket ships. Fuel up the rocket ships, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, way ho. SPY down 70, NASDAQ down 300, gold down $5. Bitcoin at 93.7. Just hanging around that number. It's been around for a minute. For about 2 weeks now. This is where we were on the way down a couple weeks ago. Now on the way back up, just kind of. This looks like another bull flag right here. Did this one play out? Did I miss? Yeah, there was one that kind of played out right here. The flag's longer than the flag's longer than the pole. I know they got Jason Horn. That played out almost perfectly, bro. It is curious when these play out. I see this pattern a lot in bull runs. You saw it back here a lot, right? Bull flag up, bull flag up, bull flag up, bear flag down. So if you want some TA Kool-Aid sipping, next stop 125. Now sometimes this happens. It gets invalidated, right? TA has a term for all scenarios, and none of them add up to you know what you're talking about or can predict shit. I seriously can't wait. There's Elijah Badger. He's a wide receiver. Yeah, that dude ain't gonna do. That guy's not making the. He'll be lucky to make the practice squad, bro. Tesla and MicroStrategy got you again. What does that mean?
One's Finding Nemo. Delicious.
Here comes the Diana on some. I'm going to tariff everyone. The economy, recession. Why would Biden do this? 3 years of drinking pomegranate juice daily reduced arterial plaque. Systolic blood pressure was reduced after 1 year of PJ consumption. Uh-oh. Costco. Nope, same day. This is how my mind works. Pomegranate juice. $10 for a 64 ounce. Twitter just blindly says pomegranate juice is good for you. I'm gonna guess what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order some pomegranate juice. More reason to eat at least one pomegranate daily. 1.7 ounces of pomegranate juice. That's not very much. That's like 2 shots, bro. 16 fluid ounces, $4. Dum dum dum. Pomegranate. Did you ever eat pomegranates? Those are a pain in the ass. This is the best negative GDP print I've ever seen. GDP was dragged down, but this won't be the case next quarter. The best way to negotiate with China is to do so very quietly. There we go. Some positive spin. Jesus Christ. What is this guy, a receiver? Has to be. 154 pounds. I thought what's his face was small on Kansas City. I can't even think of his name, bro. My memory is collapsing. Xavier Worthy. All right, boys and girls. Come on.